The repayment schedule is for a $1,300 loan at 7.5% for 6 months. What is the amount for interest at payment 4? Okay, so we're given this table. We're told that a loan was taken out for $1,300, so we're told the principal. We're told the rate, which was 7.5%. And we're told the term of the loan. Now notice I'm not calling this time. I'm calling this the term of the loan, how long this loan has been taken out for. If we look at the information provided in the table, we see they give us the payment number. So there are going to be 6 payments, each or 1 payment per month, and each payment is going to be the same monthly payment of $221.43. So far, this person has made 3 payments of $221.43. Now each payment, although the total payment is the same, the amount of interest versus the amount of principal being paid differs from payment to payment. You'll notice that in the first month, they paid $8.13 in interest, the second month a little lower, and the third month a little less interest than that. Conversely, we see principal rising, and this is what we want to see. So starting with $213, $214, $215. So with each payment, a bigger chunk of that payment is going to principal, and a smaller chunk of that payment is going to interest. Now, we also have a new principal column, which would be a deduction of the original principal balance, or the last balance, and then subtracting off the principal that was paid. However, they haven't bothered to calculate this for us, so this column isn't very useful to us right now. We're being asked to calculate the amount for interest at payment 4, meaning this box. So how do we know in the 4th payment how much money will be paid towards interest? Well, we can already guess that whatever the number is, it's probably going to be less than $5.45. However, to actually find out the exact number, we'll need to do a few calculations here. Now, using our simple interest formula, interest equals principal times rate times time, interest equals, let's use colors here, principal times rate times time, we'll be able to figure out the interest amount for payment number 4. Now, how do we fill in this information? Let's start with principal. So it's tempting to just write $1,300 for principal and be done with it. However, we've made payments to the principal since this loan was taken out. This is not the most recent information. Since then, I've made these 3 monthly payments. So our second temptation is to say, okay, and subtract off $221.43 3 times from $1,300. That would also be incorrect because this number not only includes principal, it includes interest that's being paid. So we need to subtract off the interest that has, the principal that has been paid against this loan. So we see here that in the first payment, $213.31 were paid towards principal. So we're going to subtract that off. So I'm going to subtract off $213.31. In the second month, $214.64 went towards principal. So that gets taken off as well. And in the third month, $215.98 went towards principal. So you can see that I'm taking the original amount owed, and I'm going to subtract the sum of what I've paid so far. Now, alternately, you could have written it like this. This is an equivalent expression. Okay. In one case, I take the sum of all the payments and then subtract them. In another case, I subtract them item by item. Either way is correct. Once you plug these numbers into your calculator and simplify, we get 1,300 minus the sum of these payments, 1 through 3 on principal, gives us $656.07. So that's the number that we'll use for principal. Now rate and time, a little more straightforward. Rate we already know was 7.5%. Converting to a decimal, we'll use 0.075. So let's set this up again. So for our interest, it's going to be equal to our principal times our rate times our time. Our principal, there's our rate, our principal is 656.07, and finally our time. Temptation here is to do 6 over 12. Remember, time must be in years. And because it's a 6-month loan, we're tempted to write 6/12. This is incorrect, and here's why. We're not talking about the length of the loan. We're wondering, when was the last time this interest was calculated? When's the last time this interest accrued? Interest since when? And it's only been 1 month. So we write 1 over 12. So where am I getting 1 month from? Well, you can see that in month number 3, interest was calculated, I made an interest payment, and now we're in month 4. So this this fact that it's a 6-month loan is kind of irrelevant. Really, it would have been better to just say that it's compounded monthly, right? Or it's calculated, even a better word, calculated monthly. Because that monthly is what's giving us the clue to write 1 over 12. So again, we don't write 6, that's just the full term of the loan. We base our entry for time on how often that interest is being calculated, which is once a month. So the setup, while initially a bit tricky, is now done. We have principal times rate times time, and now we just simplify, typing into a calculator and getting our numbers here. Again, although I'm solving this in front of you, I really encourage you to do this calculation yourself and make sure that you come up with $4.10. If you come up with something different, chances are your calculator is making you miss other problems as well. Alright, so that's it for this one. Again, be careful when calculating principal. Remember, you have to subtract off any payments to principal that have been made. And be careful when you calculate time. Remember that time for simple interest is in years, and we're just wondering how much time has elapsed since the last time interest accrued.